So guys, we're going to try something new. We're going to do a question and answer. So I recently put up a poll on our Instagram page where you guys can ask us certain projects. We're also going to, as we post the YouTube videos and we get certain questions, we're also going to answer it here. So let's get started with the first question and answer. So the first question is from Peters 27 Reptiles, and the question is, what one is better in clown projects, mahogany or blackhead? So as you guys know, is blackhead clowns is probably my favorite single gene clown combination. So it's a very easy question for myself. Of course, I'll choose blackhead clowns. The interaction blackhead has got with clown projects is absolutely amazing, and I really do love the blackhead clown project. This season we actually got a few chances of reproducing some awesome blackhead clown combinations. So stay tuned for this year's blackhead clowns. I think we're going to show you guys some awesome combinations. Next question is from SCK Ball Python Breeders, and the question is Wookie and chocolate the same gene? So in my personal opinion, I can't really tell you guys as I haven't worked with the Wookie gene, but what I've seen is that Wookie and spot nose and chocolate and spot nose is allelic. So I do believe they're in the same gene complex and the same color spectrum. So I think it's the same thing regarding acid, confusion and static. I think the genes are very similar to each other, but when they do react in different combinations, they've got different outcomes. So in the future, when we start working with the Wookie genes, we can give you guys an accurate answer. Next question is from Shro Mulder. Sorry, I probably butchered your name, but the question is, do you herb ball pythons in your country? So we're in South Africa, and ball pythons actually originate from Western Africa, Togo, Benin and Ghana. So no, ball pythons is not in our backyard. I wish they were. I think it would have been an awesome experience. But yeah, no, ball pythons come from Western Africa and we're in Southern Africa. So the ball pythons unfortunately doesn't originate from South Africa. But hopefully in the near future we can go to Western Africa and hopefully see the ball pythons in their natural habitat. I know Dāv Koufman did a recent documentary of ball pythons in the wild. So if you guys have a time, go check out that awesome video. We'll try and put the link in the description of our YouTube video. And if you guys got a time, go look at Dāv Koufman's video. Next question is from Spartan Reptiles 99. Okay, yeah. Next question is from Spartan Reptiles 99, and the question is, what is your rarest combo? So I actually recently picked up a real awesome animal, and that's actually coming out in part 2 of our recent pickups, and I think that's probably my most valuable animal we purchased in the recent times. But from an animal we produced in our collection, that I'd say is the most rarest combination, it would definitely be the pastel leopard ultramar clown, which is possible visual hypo 2. As the snake is actually maturing, I'm actually starting to believe that it is definitely hypo 2, but the only way we'll be accurately able to tell is when we breed with the animal. So hopefully next season we'll be able to prove out that particular animal to be a triple recessive hypo ultramar clown. So in my opinion, that's probably the rarest combination we've got in the collection. So the next question is from Jaffe Exotics, and the question is, how often do you feed and what do we feed? So 99% of my ball pythons diets do consist of rodents. I try and feed as far as possible rodents over mice or multis. It's just a personal preference. I've always tried to feed the animals rats over multis or mice, and I always try and feed once a week during specific times. I like to feed the females, especially the breeder females, twice. That's in breeding times, as I like to add more fat reserves to the female's body weight. And it's good sometimes to give them an extra meal just to ensure that they lay a viable clutch for you. And then actually Jaffe Exotics got another question for us. He asked if ASF or African soft fur rats are a natural occurring rat here in South Africa, or is it a lab rat? It's not a natural occurring rat here in Southern Africa, and I can't actually answer you if it's a lab rat. I know that in Dāv Koufman's recent documentary, he actually also specified that multis are not natural occurring in Western Africa. So if that answers your question, multis are not local to South Africa. Okay guys, so the last question is from Zama25. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the whole Instagram handle because I know I'm going to butcher it. But the question is, how did you start your facility and why ball pythons out of all of the species in the South African market? So it's actually quite an interesting question, and so I've been keeping reptiles for majority of my life. So I've actually transitioned through a lot of different species. You know, when I started off, I had different colubrids, different boas and python species. And in recent years, I think in 2016, 2015, I started to concentrate more, particularly on ball pythons, but I also had hognose and green tree python collection. And over the years, you know, last 5 years, I actually saw a huge transition in my ball python collection. And how can you say it, with the green tree pythons and the hognose, I wasn't dedicating most of my time to those species and ended up mostly focusing on the ball pythons. And to come to why ball pythons in the South African market is, we've got a great hobby here in South Africa. I think the hobby is quite bigger than what we think it is. And there's a lot of guys coming into the trade and also producing some very high-end snakes. So in the South African market, I think it's a very particular market. You need to be very exact in the pairings you make and also differentiate yourself from the other guys. So I think here personally in South Africa, we are starting to slowly also establish a good platform for ourselves. And I think in the near future, we'll have a wider range of people also interested in our animals. So to come to your conclusion, why I chose ball pythons is it's just my favorite species of animals. They're great pets, they've got a lot of different color mutations, and they make awesome animals to display and also showcase. And they've got a wide range of genetics. That's what really fascinates me about the ball pythons. I really hope you guys enjoyed this question and answer. If you guys have got any questions for us in the near future, you can either send us a DM on Instagram or Facebook, or then leave us a comment down below in our YouTube videos what you guys would like to hear or which answers you guys would like to have in the near future. That's it from us here at Reptiles for Centuries. I really hope you guys have got a great week, and we'll see you guys in the next video.